Hey everybody, and welcome to my driving video of this Oldsmobile Intrigue 1998 with 28,000 miles. Thanks for joining. Wanted to give you a little look on the outside of what we're going to be driving, and we're gonna take off here right away and get moving. 28,000 miles, everybody. 28,000 miles. Unbelievable. The low mileage on this car and how well it has been cared for and lovingly preserved. It's been driven, it's been used a little bit. I'm so excited to drive, I almost forgot my seatbelt. It's been used, it's been driven, 28,000 miles. I mean, but I think it's as nice as you could ask for in so many ways. Runs and drives wonderfully. Everything works. We're going to see how nicely it drives right here, right now. Everything works like it should. No issues. All the instrumentation lights work in the evening time. It rides nice, it's quiet, it's comfortable. The seats aren't broken down at all anywhere. Every time I make a driving video, I see one of those. I despise those things. Looks like a refrigerator going down the road. The difference between that for $100,000 plus and this, you could buy multiples of these for what that is, and this is going to probably outlast and outdo and outperform a Tesla Cybertruck. Anyway, 28,000 miles, 30 miles to the gallon on the freeway. It doesn't get much better for an overall car that isn't going to break the bank, is going to be reliable, a low cost of ownership, easy to upkeep and maintain. Just a fantastic car. 3800 Series 2 engine in this car, only offered in these in 1998 and part of 1999 or some of 1999. Most 1999s, per my reading, had the 3.5 liter engine, which isn't as desirable or as good by most everyone's opinions and standard. Look at that silly thing. The 3800 is just far better, far more superior, has a huge, long list of reputation of being a fantastic vehicle and being amazing and just always being very, very low cost of ownership and fantastic. This car shifts perfect. Brakes are perfect because they're brand new. If you watched my other walk around video, you'll know that. Car has 4 brand new tires, brand new brakes and rotors on all 4 corners. So we are riding in absolute perfection with brand new brakes and rotors, brand new tires, an alignment was done, a fresh oil change was done, also a new battery. So we've got great starting power. I mean, this car is ready to go and ready to drive, and just fantastic. Also, the transmission pan gasket and filter was replaced. It wasn't leaking or profusely leaking, it was just a little damp. And for the obvious, if you know cars, you'll know that you know, not so great to just sit, but this car has done some sitting, so you know that causes things like that to dry up a little bit, and it is what it is. But we got it replaced, and it's brand new and ready to go again. So that was taken care of. Everything that was flagged was taken care of, and it's just a nice car. Cruise control, traction control, anti-lock brakes. Fantastic. I will be going out on the freeway. For those of you that would rather enjoy the freeway segment of my driving video, you can fast forward to move it along. We will do some freeway driving, and you can go ahead to look for that. But we're going to drive some city streets first. Show this wonderful handling and great power in this car. I mean, just this is a lot of motor for this car. It's 195 horsepower, which doesn't sound like a lot by today's standards, but this car gets it and it goes, and it doesn't need any more power than what it has right here. And quite frankly, a 4-cylinder probably would do with enough horsepower, but it really does a nice job. Very, very nice. It has both original keys, the original silver valet key, original owner's manuals. You can see me talk about those in the walk around video. Has the original floor mats in this car. All the original carpet and embroidered floor mats. Fantastic. Even has the cargo net in the trunk, since we have to, guess we don't have to stop. There's another white Tesla. It's ready to go, it's ready to drive, it's ready to enjoy. I mean, it just doesn't get any better, and a car that you can get right in and enjoy, and a car that you can just pile the miles on. This car could easily withstand having a couple hundred more thousand miles put on it, and it would gladly take the mileage. So if you know cars and you know GM and you know this engine, you know what an opportunity this is to purchase this vehicle with a measly 28,099 miles at this very moment. Fantastic. It's quiet. Seats really comfortable. You know, that's another thing I wanted to talk about on this driving video. For a car of this size, you would almost expect the seat to be a little not as comfortable or not as thick, I guess I would say, but look at the thickness of the seat. I mean, it's like more than I can express with my hands thick from the sides, and it's very, very comfortable. I mean, very, very comfortable. It's very supportive of my bottom. It's very supportive of my back. It's nice and wide. I mean, it almost feels, from what I remember of an Aurora seat, which this car is kind of like an Aurora Junior. I like to think of it like a baby Aurora. And in its styling and in a lot of ways, it's almost like a Aurora seat from what I remember of the Aurora. I remember the Aurora had a very short oblong headrest. I do remember that, but the seat itself might be pretty similar. So one owner on this vehicle, woman currently 98 years old, who was the most recent and only owner. She owned the car for 27 and a half years, almost 28 years. Just fantastic. Basically 1,000 miles per year put on this car, 28,000 miles, 28 years, easy math. Unreal. She was an avid and loyal Oldsmobile driver because she had traded a 1984 Oldsmobile, please don't slaughter me for saying it wrong, Tornado. I always thought it was Tornado. Maybe it's Tornado. I don't want to say it wrong for the Oldsmobile enthusiasts, but I think it's Tornado. 1984 Tornado, and it had 16,000 miles in 1998 when she purchased this vehicle, new. And obviously the driving habits were about the same between that vehicle and this vehicle, because this vehicle was owned longer and only had 28,000 miles. So this car, if we get to a red light, I'll show you the window sticker briefly, but this car has a few options. This car has the Autobahn option, okay? So the Autobahn option gave it some larger heavy-duty brakes in the front with 12-inch rotors and a 3.29 differential, 3.29 ratio differential, as opposed to the 3.05 that was standard. And yeah. So you got the brakes, the differential, and H-rated tires, and 128-mile-per-hour speed limiter, because, you know, everybody's going to go drive their Oldsmobile Intrigue up to at least 127 miles per hour. Just kidding. Not a good idea. So this car has that Autobahn package. This car, nice leather interior. Another option on this car is the fancy-dancy Oldsmobile upgraded ETR, electronically tuned receiver radio with cassette and CD. I mean, this is high technology, folks. That was an upgrade. It was a couple, it wasn't even a couple $100. Here we are at a red light. There's our options and packages. $200 for the radio. The Autobahn package, this is making me laugh. I've already read this 100 times. The Autobahn package was only $230. So it was $30 more to get the Autobahn package over just the standalone radio. So there's that. There's the fuel mileage. There it is. You can see that in a little more detail in my walk around video. But yeah. So the radio and then the glorious steering wheel controls were a couple little options on top of that Autobahn package. Look how nice it just gets up to speed. I'm barely pushing the gas. Wonderful. So a couple little options there. This car has, oh, don't want to drive in the water. This car has fantastic service records on the reported to the Carfax report. Very, very nice service records all the way through and through, from new until current. 40 individualized service records. They just go and go and go, and they are fantastic. A lot of paper records as well to go along with these items that have been reported to Carfax. This car has not been smoked in, if I didn't already say that on this video. This car has 100% been kept in a garage. If you know how to look at a car, even if I didn't know that, I would know that, because it's very easy to see and tell how nice this car is and how nice the brakes are, the condition of the calipers, the condition of the wheels, the condition of the lights. It is just wonderful. And I don't know that anyone besides my clipboard that's sitting over there right now has hardly sat in the passenger seat or the rear seat. Very nice, roomy rear seat. Don't worry, I'm still looking out front. There's the back seat. It's literally as nice as new. And I don't think anybody's probably hardly sat back there. Everything works on this car. Everything, every feature, function, button, everything works. We're getting close to the freeway now, so we'll be on the freeway here. We're going to go a few miles down and back if we get stopped here long enough at this red light. I showed this newspaper article in my walk around video, but just a neat actual article cut from a newspaper. Another old lady sign, as I talked about in the walk around video, but a neat article about this car back then in '98 when it came out, and talking about Oldsmobile and its bold moves and the styling of the car, and the people talking about that test drove it, that they enjoyed it. Also referencing in there about how its style does resemble the larger Aurora, which again makes a lot of sense, because when you really square off at the front end of this car, like I said in the walk around video, it really does, even as a car guy, it makes you take a second glance thinking, oh wait, is that an Aurora or an Intrigue? Also in my walk-around video, I showed on the rear of this car how just like that giant F-150, it says F-150 on the back, but there's the big Ford emblem. And on the rear of this car, there isn't an Oldsmobile emblem or insignia or anything, except I found out in my own reading that there actually is. Let's get up to speed here and then I'll tell you. Effortless. Wonderful. Almost 70 miles an hour. There we are, 70. Easy. Easy to get up to speed. Solid. Absolutely perfect steering wheel. Look at this alignment. Alignments being straight are one of my pet peeves, and this is absolutely dynamitely perfect, and I love it. Perfect. Brand new tires, brand new brakes and rotors, of course, a brand new alignment. Of course this car is going to drive literally as nice as new. I mentioned on the walk-around video that the reason that the tires were replaced, they actually had a lot of tread, but because of the low mileage, they did have some mild flat spots, and driving it actually on this very road is where we identified that it was going to need tires because they had some flat spots that caused a mild vibration. So it got brand new tires that a new owner can enjoy for at least 40,000 miles or more, and then you can put a new set again and pick the brand that you favor most. There we are, 74 miles per hour. Let's kick it up a little bit. Look how nice the RPMs are too. Look at that, take note of that. 2,200 RPMs at almost 80 miles per hour. That's perfect. But see, that's probably because of that slightly different differential ratio in the gears also. But look at that, nice low RPMs. It's almost like it has a 5 or 6 speed transmission with those RPMs. Let's kick it up again. Kick it up a notch, like that famous guy says. And there it goes, it kicked down, back into overdrive. Look at that, 85 miles per hour we're cruising at, and it's at barely 2,350, 2,400 RPMs. Fantastic, fantastic. Most 90s cars at even 70 miles an hour are usually around 3,000, so this is quite pleasant. To finish about the name on the back, on the rear of this car, and I won't be showing it on this video, but you can watch the other video to hear me see and show it and tell it. In the right tail light, in the clear part of the lens where the reverse lamp is, there is etched into the lens OLDSMOBILE, Oldsmobile. It is so faint and it is so not easy to see, and it's not something that I even realized was there until I read the article. And I am a very eagle eye. I am very good at recognizing where emblems are, where they go, where they should be on cars, and I totally missed that. Look how nice and firm that suspension over that bumpy bridge. Nice and firm and tight. This is a fabulous car for freeway driving. I mean, is it as cush as like a Park Avenue or a town car? No, but am I really comfortable right now? Heck yes. This seat is fantastic. There's no obnoxious wind noise at all. A little bit of engine noise, but I like that. I want to hear it. Seat is comfortable. I've got plenty of leg room here. I am just a little over 6 feet tall. I've got plenty of leg room, plenty of room here by the door. I've got the seat all the way back, so I'm all the way back right here, but I am very, very satisfied with the room and the comfort in this car. I have ample headroom. I mean, from the top of my head to the ceiling is about probably minimum 5 inches. So someone far taller than I would definitely be comfortable in this car. And I have the seat straight up and down right now to make this video, so I have plenty of headroom. We're gonna exit at this exit, and then we're gonna turn around and go back the same way. So hope you're enjoying. If you like video and what I do here and presenting cars, give a thumbs up, ring the bell, and subscribe to my channel if you like. I love to present and talk about cars. I love to tell a car story. I like older cars because, you know what? Just like older people, they've got more experience. And it's more fun to tell their story because there's more to it, there's more depth, and there's things like newspaper articles, right? There's the insignia on the floor mat while we're stopped. Look at that. Gorgeous. Look at that. Look at that. Absolutely perfect passenger side mat. And this driver side one is just as nice. There's no wear on it whatsoever. But I love telling the story of an older car that's been around for several years. This car is as nice as you possibly could ask for. I mean, there are a few little flaws that I showed on the walk around video, but they are so small and so minor. And yeah, this car did have a minor rear incident 10 years ago that caused the rear bumper to be repainted. Who cares? It's not going to affect the value on this car. It's not going to affect the fact that this is just so much car for the money, and that this car can once again easily have 150, 200,000 miles piled. Just literally, just if you're a traveling salesman, this would be a fantastic car. You can just pile the miles on this thing and it's going to take it with pleasure. I'm stopping here so I can do a dead cold start here on this on-ramp. I'm going to push it down a little harder. I'm not going to push it to the floor. You ready? 1, 2, 3. Boom. 75 miles an hour, and we haven't even exited the on-ramp. There we are, rocking and rolling once again. Great power, I'm telling you. This is plenty of power for this type of car, this size of car. It's just perfect. It really is. And you know, they say that in a lot of the articles I read about this car, that this was to compete with Honda Accord and Camry and whatever. And you know what? Nowadays, with all of them having track records of reliability, I honestly will, I love Japanese cars, but I will sit right here right now and vouch that as great of a reputation as this engine has as well, because it's so proven. We're gonna let this big truck go by. This car is an equal contender. And there's this, I love a nice Honda Accord, I love a nice Toyota Camry, but this is an equal contender to either of those cars in all ways. Reliability, cost of ownership, size, stature, comfort, fuel mileage, you know, pick a category. This is, there is no reason that this isn't. Absolutely no reason. Quite frankly, this seat's probably more comfortable than a Honda Accord from 19. You know what? I'm not gonna say that it might be. I'm telling you that this seat is more comfortable than a 1998 Honda Accord, and definitely than a 1998 Toyota Camry. Toyota Camrys are built to never stop running like the Energizer Bunny. We all know that. But their seat thickness is like this. This car is like as big as I can make my middle finger to my thumb. This seat is more comfortable. So there you go. Cruise control has a master switch here on the dash, so I'm going to push right there, and I'm going to push right here to engage, to demonstrate to you that the cruise control works. You can see the green cruise word right there, and it is set at 64 miles per hour. We're going to push the accelerate button, and there we go. Speeding up, and now we're up to 74. I'm going to let off that button, and you can see that the cruise is engaged. No feet on the pedals, and we are cruising in comfort and style. And as the newspaper article said, I forget what it said, but it said basically this is a nice, comfortable luxury car without spending the key word from that newspaper article and turning off the cruise control, an egregious amount of money. So, you know, this car in 1990, 8 for 23 or 4 or $5,000, whatever it was. I guess it's the equivalent nowadays of spending maybe $40,000. But, you know, it's a heck of a deal for what you can buy it for today. I'll tell you that right now. Yeah, sure is. It's like getting a brand new car. I meant to talk about this on the walk around video and I forgot, so I'll talk about it right now. I had a gentleman buy a 2003 Chevrolet Cavalier, so in the same family as this GM Oldsmobile, right? 2003 Cavalier from me several years ago, and the car had 8,800 miles, 8,800 miles. I mean, even lower than this, prospectively, because this was a few years, just not that many years ago. And long story short, he bought that car. Look how nice and straight that steering wheel. Look at that. Look at that. Just perfect. I love it. I love it. Perfect. He bought that car from me, and he didn't even test drive it, bought it. And I said, well, how are you so sure you're going to like it? To which he says, I have the same car sitting at home, sir. He said, it has 335,000 miles. It still runs, but it's rusted out and it's falling apart. And he said, I bought it new. He said, so buying this Cavalier that you're marketing, he said, it's literally like getting a brand new car. He said, it's like starting over again. And I laughed and I thought, if you know you like it, why not? You know, the money that people spend on cars nowadays and the payments that people take out and bury themselves, it's absolutely insane. The payments that people pay on vehicles, and you don't even spend that much time in them, really. But that's what people do. So in his case, he was simple, economic, and he knew what he wanted, he knew what he liked, and he said, I am going to take this car and I'm going to do exactly the same thing as I did with the one I have at home, and I'm going to drive it another 300,000 miles. So my point of that story is, if you have one of these that has 300,000, 335,000, 250,000, whatever thousand miles, and you have loved and enjoyed it, treat yourself. Buy this car. It's like starting over again with something brand new. It's so tight and so nice. You'll think, if you did buy your car new, you'll think you're starting over with a new one again. That's how nice this car is. It has a few paint flaws I pointed out in the walk around video. It has the incident that happened in the rear back 10 years ago. Who cares? This is fantastic. This is fantastic. This car. Nothing better. Nothing better. And for the money. So I need to trademark the expression, because I say it so much, but this is so much car for the money. It really, really is. Just a lot of car for the money. Look at this nice handling through these curves. Look at this. See that little hum from that 3800? I like it. Some people want, you know, crystal quiet. I mean, it's not, what car did I do? I drove a much newer than this. Did a video on a Chevrolet Malibu not too long ago, and I mentioned how it had kind of a little more engine noise than I would really like to hear, but it wasn't obnoxious, and that was a 4-cylinder. But this obviously has better insulation, probably better built, and it's actually quieter than that Malibu, and that Malibu was a 2011. So that was more than 10 years, 13 years newer than this car. And at least in my honest feedback I was trying to give my viewers, I thought that Malibu was a bit loud on the interior, whereas I find this to be wonderfully pleasing. So I hope you've enjoyed. We're just about wrapped up here. I'm just continuing to babble and driving so you can experience every type of driving on this car. Leave a comment on the YouTube video, please. If you own one of these cars, even if you're just watching this for funsies and you own one of these and you have a ridiculous amount of miles, say something to let everyone else know about your experience, like the guy with the Cavalier. I think it's cool. I want to hear it. I want to read it. I want to know about it. Okay? What else? Little trivia I joked about in the walk around video. Does everybody remember the Oldsmobile Silhouette minivan? Like I said on the other video, I'm sure I wasn't the only person to say this, but that's probably one of the ugliest Oldsmobiles I've ever known, and seeing all those minivans over there at that parking lot made me think about that. It affectionately dubbed the Dustbuster the early Silhouette van, because it definitely did resemble a Dustbuster. And if you don't know what a Dustbuster is, you'll have to Google search that image, but it was a handheld vacuum cleaner, and the van certainly resembled a Dustbuster. I'll tell you what, you won't find anywhere on the road. You could drive around for hours and not find another one of these, and you definitely are not going to find another one that's as nice as this car is. I believe that with all my knowledge and all my heart. This is a nice opportunity. This is an incredible opportunity to own such a wonderful, wonderful, well-preserved vehicle and be able to enjoy it for many, many, many more years to come. I appreciate your viewing. I appreciate your watching. Appreciate any comments you want to leave. Please give a thumbs up and ring the bell to subscribe to my channel. Thank you, everyone, and until next time, we will see you then. All right, peace. Bye-bye.